I want to take you back to 1979 when Apocalypse Now won the Golden Palm here at Cannes. Everything kind of depended on this screening. Isn't that true? Because the movie had been rumored to be in trouble and...
Yeah, no question. I mean, for all the things I was scared. I only said, let's show the film at Cannes unfinished as a necessity because the rumors of how much in trouble it was were so now filling the papers that I felt my only defense was to just show it and hope that people said, oh no, it's not such a mess. We were struggling to convince people that the film was worthwhile at a time when everyone was saying it wasn't, so I was sort of put in a position of having to show it and having to finish it. You make the edit very much not knowing whether the audience will accept it or not. The editing process now is made just to try to get as much out of the film as good as it can be without the fear of it being judged by a small critical group or prematurely made into a failure. Monsieur.
Hey. The dynamics of the fork.
La fourchette?
Yep.
I think pretty much the way we did this scene, it doesn't need even any subtitles at all.
I wouldn't put subtitles.
No, it's interesting because there's a lot of French.
Yeah.
But you just know what they're talking about, or you know what they're arguing about.
Tus trailers. Visita mi canal.
He was a socialist, you know.
I was one of the editors back then who was taking things out because we were trying to make the film as short as possible. Now, Francis, over the last 2 years, has been saying, Walter, do you have any time to investigate putting some stuff back into Apocalypse Now? So I was frightened about going back into it because it's like a jungle. It was almost 2 years of my life and 2 million feet of film, and just a tremendous amount of material that we finally got balanced, in some balance, back in 1979. So to go back into it and to upset that balance and to hopefully find all these pieces 20 years later, it frightened me to begin with, and then I became curious. I started assembling it as if you would from original material without any reference to how it might have been done in the past.
We use the first, second one.
As I said, I was nervous going in because I'd forgotten, even at this level, how flexible film is, that it's clay, it's cinematic clay. How you make transitions and how you can make an audience think about something over here while you're doing something in this direction.
Hold on.
And then suddenly something is knit together that was separated by 24, 25 years. It felt to me like I was right there back in 1978. I was able to recapture the spirit of the film.
When I was hired, I was 14 years old.
How old are you? 17.
While we were shooting, I had my 15th and my 16th birthdays. When the film was released in August of '79, I had just celebrated my 17th birthday.
He said Vietnam was the best thing they could have done for my ass.
We were a very tight team. We ran that boat, and that was our life support. And we all relied on one another very much, and we worked off of each other.
We got to be family even in rehearsal. The way Francis cast the movie, he really had people come in and improvise scenes. And he had asked us to host, to be anchors for that. In fact, the boat crew, me, Fred, and Sam, and Larry, Lawrence Fishburne, we had been there all day long in Los Angeles as people come in to audition, and we were the ones they auditioned with. And Francis improvised scenes around that. And during that time, we got to be family. So by the time we actually got in the Philippines and started shooting, we were pretty solid with each other, as we still are.
You read Willard. Freddie's going to read Chef. And Sam, you read Lance. And Albert, you read Chief, okay? Let's just, what we'll do now, we'll just read it just to read it, to know what we're doing.
Francis come to us and said, you guys got the characters now. Don't act. You know.
Is it going to be Harry?
I don't know, kid. Yeah, probably.
You like it like that, Captain? When it's hot, Harry? Fuck.
Francis was the first director that I'd ever met who kept asking for more.
Quitus
I've never had
Trailers.
that challenge
Visita
before.
mi canal.
And I liked it.
We weren't acting, we were just living. We had those characters down.
I didn't get on the goddamn 8th grade for this kind of shit!
We got to grow with the characters and our relationships, and I mean, there was so much love and respect on that film that I've never experienced like that.
A lot of people ask me, what happened to where's the dog? I'll run into people on the street, where's the dog?
Where'd the dog go?
What I tell them is, I say, well, Lance becomes the dog, and in a way he does.
Where's the dog?
Lance never speaks again in the picture. He's there. You feel his presence, but he's just sort of surfing through it all.
You know, these are all things I think that add to the film. They add to the depth of it, and they add to, you know, the political aspect of the film. There's also a history lesson about why America was involved in the Vietnam War. And The Burial, for example, is a real tribute to the youth of America, or at least in the way that Francis explained it to me all those years ago.
Clean's funeral, Albert Hall is incredible in it. You got to see another side to him. You saw the dignity of that character that he expressed so well. I mean, every time I see that, it makes me cry. And I was there.
You know, here we were, me, in this case, me and Larry, both black, and here we are fighting for a country, and I lose him. Reflecting on the fact that there were more blacks in that war, you know, and perhaps the inequity of that, you know. And that was very good juice and substance to use emotionally right there.
It's more than just like a little movie I made, you know. It is a very big movie that a lot of people made. It also happens to be, you know, the most significant experience of my adolescent life.
Aquí tus trailers, visita mi canal.